Alright, let's take a look at our settings and preferences, how to access them, and we'll kind of quickly go through them. You'll find your settings and preferences in the MicroStation world as well. So for example, under settings here, you just go to your design file settings. You'll notice that here you've got an option for civil formatting. Most of these are pretty straightforward. Let's look at the first one, which is export to native. Notice you've got two options. One is manual and one is use the feature setting. Now let me explain just what that means very quickly. I'm going to come over here and look at one of my features, which I've got a feature called centerline. I'm going to look at the properties of that feature. Now you'll notice in the properties that you've got a property called auto export for the plan. So what that says is that any horizontal geometry element that I create using this particular feature called centerline, I want you to automatically export that and keep a copy of it, or a synchronized copy, in a native database. Same thing for the profile. I've got it set to true, so any vertical geometry that I create using this feature will automatically be exported to the native database. So, and you'll see more about that in the videos on features. But when I come back over here to the settings design file, you'll notice that as a user you control that. So do you want to use the feature setting, or do you want to say, you know what, for today, even if I place a particular horizontal or vertical geometry element using a feature that has that turn on, I don't want you to do it. Just let me manually, at the end of the day, go in and select what I want to and export it manually. So that's one option there. The others are pretty straightforward. You've got your coordinate settings here, pretty self-explanatory. You've got your ratio settings. You've got your station settings, format, your delimiter, your precision, and then how you want your equation to be represented by name or by index. You've got your radius settings. These are basically degree of curve method. Do you want that to be arc or chord? What is the length that those calculations are based off of? Now you also have a radius toggle character, and let me go explain what that is. To do that, I'm going to come over here under my civil tools. I'm going to go down to geometry and I'm going to select a simple arc. You can see here I've already got two lines placed. I'm going to locate these, the first element and the second element, and it wants to place a simple arc, and you'll notice how it's calculating a radius here. Okay. Well, if I want to change that to degree, I'm going to come in here and put in degree, the D, 125, okay? And now you'll notice that's set to 125 degrees. All right, so again, that gives me the option to put in a degree. If I want to change that back to radius, I'll just put in D55, and it'll take me back to a radius of 55, or let me put in entries based on radiuses. So again, this is under settings design file. That's what this this toggle here. And again, this can be anything that the user wants it to be. And finally, of course, is your profile settings, your elevation precision, slope format, slope precision, ratio format and precision, as well as your vertical curve parameter format. You've got you want us to base your parameters on radius, k values, or m values. In addition to this, we also have under workspace preferences. You'll notice here you have something called View Options Civil. We've got several options here. This is mainly controlling things like dialogues and colors, weights, things like this. Kind of the look and feel of Civil. Several things here. You've got your cursor prompt dialog. You know, this is kind of basically controlling. When I went over here a while ago and said, this is this dialogue, this is this heads up dialogue right here. Right now you can see I've got a white background with black text, so I can come back over here to workspace preferences. Let's set the dialogue color to black, and let's set the text color to white, and you'll notice as it just changes that for you. So again, it's just kind of a look and feel, whatever you're most comfortable with. Toggle commands. You've got several toggle commands here. Create 3D. Let me explain what those are very quickly. I'm going to come over here to General Geometry, and I'm going to open this feature toggle bar. Now you'll notice on this feature toggle bar that we've got several options, and you'll notice that some of them are orange. That means they're enabled. That is coming from these toggle commands. You can notice I've got them all set to true. That means I want them enabled by default. So I'm going to just double click on these and turn them all to false. We'll say OK, and I'm going to delete this and bring it back up. And of course, when I do, now you'll notice that they're all disabled. So that's what these toggle commands control. You've also got your manipulator settings. These control kind of your inline editing here. So for example, when I come over and I select an element, those settings control your manipulators, like these little circles and triangles here, the size of those, the text here, what color it is, what font is being used here to do your inline editing. So for example, let's change our manipulator size to something a little bigger, like 25. Let's change our text color here to green. Now notice when I come back over, your circles are much bigger, easier to see, and notice your text is now green. So again, it's more of a kind of a look and feel for how you want things to see. Super elevation, do you want that to be filled in? Your survey locators, as you're using survey, you've got locators to show where certain points are. These control those, as well as in survey, your maximum error ellipse, your minimum error ellipse, and your medium error ellipse are all controllable by the user as well.